You know, when you think about modern chess, there's really one name that just towers over everyone else. Magnus Carlsen. For a decade, he was the undisputed king. I mean, this guy was playing a game that felt like it was on a whole other planet.
And then, to really get why he'd give up the ultimate prize, we've got to go back. We have to see how he conquered it in the first place. And this story, like it does for so many of these geniuses, it starts really, really young.
And here's the crazy thing.
Before he was a chess prodigy, he was just, well, a prodigy, period. I mean, at 2 years old, he's already crushing 50-piece jigsaw puzzles. By 4, he's building these super complex Lego sets, the kind that are meant for kids way, way older. And you know what got him into chess in the first place? It wasn't some grand ambition. He just wanted to beat his older sister. That, plus this totally insane memory that let him memorize every single country in the world.
So it was only a matter of time before all that brain power got laser-focused on the chessboard. And it happened fast. In 2004, he's just 13 years old, and he goes and wins the super prestigious Chorus tournament. This gets him his first Grandmaster norm, and the Washington Post dubs him the Mozart of chess, a nickname that, let me tell you, absolutely stuck.
From there, his climb to the top was just, it was mind-blowingly fast. Think about this. He's a Grandmaster at 13. By 15, he's the champion of Norway. At 18, he shatters the 2,800 rating barrier. That's like the stratosphere of chess elites, and he's the youngest person ever to do it. Then just a year later, at 19, he becomes the youngest world #1 in the history of the game. This wasn't just fast. This was something nobody had ever seen before.
You know, they say getting to the top is one thing, but staying there, that's the real challenge. Well, Magnus didn't just stay there. He built a freaking empire. For the next decade, he wasn't just the best player. He was in a league of his own.
The biggest prize in all of chess, right? It's the World Championship, a grueling one-on-one match. Carlsen snags his first title back in 2013, beating the legend Viswanathan Anand. And then he just kept defending it 4 more times. He faced down the absolute best players on the planet, even surviving these insane nail-biting tiebreaks against Karyakin and Caruana.
If you really want to understand his reign, you gotta look at the numbers. They tell the whole story. Let's start with this one. 5. 5 times he put that world championship title on the line, and 5 times he walked away with it. He just had the classical chess throne on complete lockdown.
And while he was king, he built this fortress of invincibility. Get this, from 2018 to 2020, Magnus played 125 classical games in a row without a single loss. Not one. That's a record, and it shows more than just skill. That's a kind of mental toughness, a psychological strength that the chess world had literally never seen.
And then there's the number that, for a lot of people, just ends the whole GOAT debate right there. 2882. That was his peak rating, the highest in history. He broke Garry Kasparov's record, a record that had stood for 13 years, and basically cemented his legacy as, at least statistically, the strongest human being to ever play.
His dominance wasn't just in that slow classical chess. He was the first person in history to hold the world champion title in classical, rapid, and blitz all at the same time. And he didn't just do it once. He pulled off this insane triple crown 3 different times. Just incredible.
So, what's the secret? How was he so good? How did he build this style that seemed just completely unbreakable? Well, the answer is he became what they call a universal player.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Let's hear from Garry Kasparov, only another legend of the game, and Carlsen's former coach. He put it perfectly. That bulldog bite he talks about, that became Magnus's signature move. It's this relentless, suffocating pressure that just grinds his opponents into dust over hours and hours.
Okay, so to break it down a little, you have tactical players who are always looking for that knockout punch, right? These brilliant, flashy combinations. But Carlsen, he's a positional master. He plays more like a python. He finds these tiny, tiny advantages, stuff you or I would never even see, and then he just slowly, methodically, squeezes the life out of the position until his opponent has nowhere to go. They just collapse. Basically, big mystery. With this kind of historic, seemingly unbreakable dominance, why on earth would the king just give up his crown?
The answer, this is straight from him, was pretty simple. Burnout. He just couldn't stand the thought of another one of those intense, months-long preparations you need for a world championship match. He just wasn't enjoying it anymore. I mean, he felt like he had nothing left to prove in that format, and like he said, plain and simple, I am not motivated to play another match.
But, and this is super important,
He wasn't retiring. Not at all. He was pivoting. He started focusing on the faster formats that he actually enjoyed more, racking up more rapid and blitz titles. He became the face of online chess, creating his own successful tour, built a business empire with the Play Magnus Group, and started diving into new challenges like Fisher Random Chess and even esports.
And this new chapter, it came with a lot of drama. In 2022, he lit the chess world on fire. He withdrew from a massive tournament, the Sinquefield Cup, after losing a game, and then publicly accused his opponent, Hans Niemann, of cheating. It was huge. This was a move that basically shouted to the world, I'm playing by my own rules now.
For anyone who was really paying attention, this decision didn't come out of nowhere. Actually, right after he won the championship in 2021, he was already hinting at it. He said flat out that he enjoyed playing in regular tournaments way more than the big title matches. He was already looking for the exit door on a throne he had completely and totally owned. So in the end, Carlsen giving up his title, it wasn't an ending. It was a declaration. By stepping away from that traditional classical board and diving headfirst into faster online chess, he makes all of us ask a much bigger question. Is this just about one guy following his passion? Or is this the king showing the rest of us where the entire world of chess is headed next? Is the future on a screen, not a board? That's the real gambit he's